Welcome to the X-Verse Monthly, a show about the X-Men, the comics, the movies, the TV shows, but mostly the comics. I'm your host, Midget Radio, and because I feel like I lied to you all with that opening intro, I am introducing a new segment. And like any other X fan, I have no shortage of X puns, so we are calling this Expectations, aka upcoming crap in the X-Verse. This might be a little spoilery, so please take appropriate caution. But we have got a big ass wedding coming up here between Kitty Pryde and Pete Rasputin. I don't know how I feel about this. I loved what an event the wedding of Psyche and Jean was way back in the day. And this feels like a stab at recapturing that, which is, pretty in line with the whole gist of Resurrection. But I don't know. Kitty married Star-Lord. And that seemed really stupid at the time, and it still seems stupid, and maybe I'm just not quite over that. This is a pretty quick rebound from that too, right? It's a rebound marriage, like she's rebounding back into marriage, which is pretty extreme, pun intended. But I don't know, we'll see. I hope there's a wedding album like they did for Psyche and Jean, because that would be awesome. And they should totally have like a guest book too. Like if Marvel asked you to tweet, your guest book entry for the wedding, and they publish that along with the wedding album, that'd be amazing. That would be amazing. Anyway, what else? We've got a Domino ongoing coming up in April, written by Gail Simone. I think it's in April. I'm pretty stoked for that. Season 2 of Legion, I believe, is coming out around then too. The Gifted got renewed, season 2. Give me more Cuckoo. Fucking the New Mutants movie got pushed to next year, which blows ass. And some stupid rumor about like Fox wanting to make it scarier. Like, what the shit? I don't even know what that means. Modern day horror is kind of a pain in the ass, and I don't watch a lot of it because it's just like, it's almost like it's almost the same sort of formula as like stupid modern day action movie bullshit where you just jump from like one meaningless action set piece to another. In horror movies, it's just one scary, stupid sequence after another. It's like going through a fucking haunted house. It's like a goddamn theme park ride, Like here's the sections where the skeletons pop out at you, and here's like where the weird looking ghouls are, and holy shit, and there's a zombie and loud noises, lots of loud noises, and what a fucking great story. I don't know, man. I don't want the fucking New Mutants movie to be just a stupid stupid, haunted house, a fucking theme park ride. What are you gonna do? All right. So that was Expectations. What a goddamn raging success that was. On to reviews. XMen Gold 17 and 18. So I took a pretty sizable dump on the first part of this arc. So let's see how we are feeling about this part. So the Gold crew get outfitted with some special negative zone suits designed by Forge. I don't really know what the benefit is or like what they're supposed to do, but they do look kind of cool. For some reason, they are getting a negative zone ship from Blue Marvel. I don't know like why Blue Marvel is there or why he is like in charge of negative zone ships. But I know he's got his fans, so good for them and all. So Kitty and Kurt have been captured by Kolagoth and his army, while Colossus, Logan, and Ink. I think am I wrong on this? I think Guggenheim might be the only person who actually likes Ink. Right? I don't know. And Armor. And they crash into the planet because it's X-Men, and like every transport they use is one use only. And there's this other group of blue people that they run into, and they get in a fight because of course they do. And so Goth, I'm going to call him Goth, because I don't want to do all those. I don't want to do all the syllables. So Goth and his people are fighting against these other blue people on this dumb planet, and Goth's advisors tell him that Kitty and Kurt's team have showed up and they're causing problems. So Goth And I actually like this decision because he's like, fuck it. We don't need them in the way. Like, he's got his own plans. He wants to take over this planet, whatever. So let's just hand over Kitty and Kurt and get them on their merry way. Practical solution. So Kurt is like imprisoned inside this statue. I don't know. And he takes his chances and like ports out of it and just totally beefs it at the end of 17. And then we open 18 with freaking Magma, who I don't know what she's been up to, but it's cool to see her. But she's talking to this contractor about rebuilding the portion of the mansion that got trashed in Goth's rescue operation, and reminding us all why Kitty's decision to locate the mansion in Central Park continues to make less sense. I don't understand what Guggenheim is doing with this. This was his idea. It's like he keeps bringing up what a bad idea it was, that everything in Central Park and having a mansion in the middle of Central Park is really fucking expensive and super risky and insane. I don't know why he keeps doing this. But moving on from that, despite Kurt's mistaken port, he comes out like pretty unscathed, kind of surprisingly, because it sort of looked like he teleported, like his body is like inside, still pretty much inside the statue. Like, but I guess he ported like out of it really quick, like super quick enough not to do like any major damage. I don't know. So the plot, like, it takes a couple of weird turns here. Goth shows up with just Kitty because he can't find Kurt to meet Logan and crew, I guess, to do the exchange. And he tells Kitty that like Nightcrawler is dead, because he can't find him, basically. And Kitty's pretty sure that that's bullshit. And like, rather than search for Kurt, Goth instead decides to just get super insistent about making them leave his planet, like right now. And then the guy that the X-Men were like working with, who they met, initially when they crash landed into this freaking planet, and like was supposedly a representative of the team or the group that's opposed to Goth's rule, turns out to instead be a spy for Goth, which just seems like a completely unnecessary twist in the middle of this. And so Kitty's like, you can all eat a butt, and then and a fight breaks out, and the statue of this like weird fucking alien monster thing, I believe that Kurt was originally trapped inside of, turns out to be a god, like some god that Goth worships, and Goth summons his ass into being, and holy balls, that's where we end. I mean, it's better, it's better. It's not great. It's not good. And Ink sucks. I mean, I'm just gonna, he sucks. He's not a mutant. And he just like gets his powers from tattoos that he has a mutant put on him. And now like he's just obnoxious because he's like a get out of jail free card. He's like, or like those old Apple commercials, right? Like, need to fly. He's got a tap for that. Healing factor. There's a fucking tap for that. Total goddamn erasure from existence. We should probably make a fucking tap for that. So I don't know. I don't like Ink. But whatever. 17, 18, XMen Gold. It's okay. Still not a huge fan of this arc overall. I think if we can get Goth, out of the picture as quickly as possible, and also ditch Ink back at the mansion or whatever the fuck he's doing, things will improve. XMen Blue 17 and 18. So the Blue crew continue to work to find out what the hell went wrong with the time stream. Pretty sure it's them. But they end up in 2099, and I'm sad to say, like, we only get to spend this one issue here. I think I'm totally ready for an X-Men 2099 revival. But not a whole lot goes on. We get reintroduced a little bit to the X-Men of 2099, who are in hiding from Alchemax, the big evil corporation of the 2099 verse. Anyway, it turns out that Cerebra has some idea of what's going on, or at least like she can tell or knows that the Blue team is jumping to like pre-programmed destinations in time, but it's not clear why that's going on. And we find out in a twist that the O5 in this universe are bad news. Apparently, they actually head Alchemax. They took it over by force, and they're like responsible for some new strain of the legacy virus, and enforcing their will via big badass, like totally War of the Worlds style robot that is dubbed Onslaught, which appears to be an amalgam of the O5 themselves, much like Onslaught was an amalgam of Xavier and Magneto. So they get attacked by that big bastard just before porting away to 90s era Generation X, one of the greatest X-Men teams of all. And that's where we pick up with issue 18, with Monet just punching Bobby directly in the face. God damn, I miss Monet. It's the universal greeting between X teams. Big time fisticuffs break out, of course, before Banshee shuts it down with a scream, and Emma brings Scott and Jean into the school to figure out what's going on. And there's kind of a cute moment with Jubes talking to Bloodstorm and confessing that she in fact hates vampires. Bad news for Jubilee. We find out in conversations between Sync and Chamber that Emma apparently led like some sort of revolt against the O5, who were apparently responsible for something called mutant training camps that like supposedly, I guess, they all broke out of. And we get a flash in Emma's mind when she actually fought the O5, I guess breaking everybody free from these mutant training camps. And it's like complete with Psyche in his like Phoenix 5 outfit from AVX, and older Jean in Emma Frost's memory. So as teen Jean is kind of exploring Emma Frost's memory at her invitation, witnesses is watching this memory unfold, and older Jean within the memory like gets wise to that. It's sort of a weird moment, but she catches Jean, I guess spying on this piece of the past, and kicks her right back out of Emma's head. It's because it's sort of a cool moment. And then as she and Scott are talking to Emma, Emma and Banshee slowly start to like fade out of existence as the time stream corrects itself around them. They port again, and they find themselves back to their first fight with Magneto. Overall, I mean, pretty solid issue. I'm actually enjoying this arc pretty well. It's weird. I'm sure it'll be revealed, but I am curious as to the fact that the O5 in this new time stream, I guess, have become some sort of like fucking tyrants somehow. So it'll be kind of interesting to see how that turns out. And from what I can tell, it kind of looks like Blue is going to get a whole new roster here pretty soon. Like, it looks like Polaris is going to be heading up the book with like, Zorn, Dawkin, I think. I can't remember who else. I can't remember who else is on that cover. Kind of a bizarre lineup, but sort of cool to see Polaris in the lead. I'm definitely excited about that. But so anyway, this might actually mean that we're going to see the O5, the teenage crew, actually go back to their own timeline and I guess restore the 616 to the way it's supposed to be. And it's definitely about the right time for this, or about the right space, if you will. Astonishing X-Men number 6. I love Del Mondo's art, right? But what the hell else do I say about this issue? So it's the final showdown between Farouk and Xavier. He calls in a psychically armored Rogue, Mystique, and Phantom X to beat that spider's psychic ass, while Archangel is attempting to like wipe out, I guess, Farouk possessed Gambit and Logan, and Betsy works on cleaning out the civilians that Farouk has managed to possess, who are running amok in the city. They managed to accomplish all of this more or less with Betsy also kind of having to keep Archangel in check and getting him to avert a bomb that the army is about to drop on the city, because the population is, they've gone totally fucking nuts, and a pretty effective solution. So the issue ends with Phantom X taking off his mask and confessing that he is not Phantom X. He is, in fact, Charles Xavier, otherwise now known as X. I don't know why he's wanting to go by the name X, but that's like almost the first fucking sentence out of his mouth. It's like, I'm Charles Xavier. I got a new goddamn code name and it's X. But what the shit, man? So I guess Xavier possessed Phantom X's body. While I am not keen on having to think of Phantom X as Charles Xavier, I am still like super into this. I mean, the arc has made, I gotta say, overall, it's made some pretty unpredictable moves, and it's been a pretty like goddamn fun ride. I've always been like, it definitely continues to seem like Xavier is maybe a little bit dark, a little bit bad. I mean, he's taken over fucking Phantom X's body. I don't know where the hell Phantom X is now. But so I've always been like a little dubious about seeing Xavier as a villain, particularly in the Deadly Genesis era with fucking Vulcan and Darwin and all of that mess. But I'm super intrigued this time around. Really enjoying this arc, so very curious to see where it goes from here with apparently resurrected Charles Xavier in the body of Phantom X. So keep it up, Charles Soule. I am all the way on board. Weapon X number 12. How about that cover, right? So having completed finally fucking 12 issues, having completed the Weapon H arc, 12 issues and that fucking Weapons of Mutant Destruction crossover, the X crew here is just kind of putzing around, I guess, sort of looking for an excuse to continue hanging out with each other. They're like in the middle of some hunt. I don't know why they're hunting, but whatever, that's what they're doing. And then Warpath gets a call from this dude whose brother was killed when Stryker attacked Santo Marco back in that last arc on that island or on that beach. And apparently this dude's family just like attracts assholes because now he's under the attack by this paramilitary group with American flags painted on their faces. So they're all concerned and like a little intrigued because I guess they're dressed up like Nuke, who is a dude that I do not know shit about. But Sabretooth helpfully explains for us idiots that he was Weapon 7, another super soldier experiment who's apparently a total fucking psycho. So it looks like El Presidente of Santo Marco is maybe running this operation as he ain't no fan of mutants. So Weapon X arrives at Santo Marco and finds the dude who just called them, rounded up with a bunch of other mutants and these Nuke soldiers. And they beat all their asses all to hell. And Sabretooth, rather than bail with the rest of the team after they rescue these mutants, breaks into the nearby lab where I guess these Nuke soldiers are like being made or bred or experimented on or whatever the fuck, and finds Nuke locked up and pretty damn ready to beat on all types of ass. What keeps selling this book for me is Pax command of the team. I love this lineup, and while I don't know anything about Nuke and have I mean no like no real interest in him, I still totally dug this issue. I mean it's a pretty basic setup with a fucking great team to see it through. So yeah, I'm still really digging this book. I just really like this team, and I really like the way Pac writes them. Generation X number 85, fucking sigh. This book is so exactly what I want out of an X-Men comic, especially one that is focused on the school and is about the students. Because do you know what happens in this book? I am happy to tell you. Here's the fucking plot. Choir is busy being a drama queen on Krakoa. I think he's on Krakoa. I mean, that's who he was hanging out with, was Krakoa. I mean, he's on an island, but I'm assuming it's Krakoa because he feels like Benji and the whole rest of the school hates him, so he's pouting. Jubes and Jono are babysitting Shogo and maybe kind of like stoking a little fire, like a little romantic flame maybe brewing between the two of them. Paige is hanging out, also talking to Jubes and counseling Bling. Benji and Nathaniel are having their like will they won't they fucking relationship problems because Nathaniel's power like torpedoes like any relationship that he gets in. It's fucking great. I mean, there's a ton of time devoted to like I mean, what's really like, it's character stuff, like it's character building stuff. There's stupid relationships and their dumb feelings about each other, and I fucking love every single second of it. So whatever. That's like the meat of the issue, the plot stuff, the comic book crap. M-Plate shows up with DOA, takes out Anoli and Mercury, it looks like, and I don't know, like she somehow got the Gen X kids on like some ghost plane. I don't really fucking understand this part of it, but there's like iBoy and like Nature Girl, like they find themselves seeing all these ghosts everywhere, while M-Plate, I guess, is trying to suck up mutants. And I hope we get Monet back by the end of Strain's run here. She maybe expunges M-Plate from her fucking system. But I'm so torn up that this book is ending. Strain has clearly invested so much in these characters, and she's doing such fantastic work with them, and it's a fucking tragedy to see it ending so suddenly. I mean, when she said, God, still, I remember when this book was being talked about, and she had talked about that she was very intentional about these characters that she had picked for this book, and it's evident. I mean, it's evident that she had a lot in store for them, and really wanted to develop them as characters, and she's done such a fucking great job of it, and it's so much fun to read. It's such a pleasure to read. This book is awesome. The fact that it's ending is poop, and I can't recommend it highly enough. So all I can tell you is that if you haven't been reading it, it'll be done pretty goddamn soon, and I'm sure a collected edition will come out. It will probably fit in one or two fucking trades, unfortunately, but not that much money, and absolutely worth it. Iceman number 8. What the hell is Pyro doing? I mean, this issue opens up and he's just burning up shit on the street, like all by himself, and bitching about mutant rights or something. I don't know why he's by himself. I don't know what the fuck is happening to him, or what has motivated this. I feel like with all of these books, especially the X-Men comics, where we've got these bad guys with no fucking plans whatsoever, they just get a hair up their ass and start breaking shit. I think we need like a Superior Foes of Spider-Man style book for the X line, right? Because that was a pretty fucking great run. And like, give me Pyro, give me the Blob, and I don't know, fucking Toad or whatever. Just trying to like get by. I don't know, rob a bank, aim for retirement or something. I think that would be like pretty fun. I don't know what the fuck is up Pyro's ass. But during this, it's pretty much just a scene for young and old Bobby to take his ass out while shooting the shit about young Bobby's love life in particular. And so most of this issue is young and old Bobby planning to meet their parents for lunch. And I do kind of like this scene, but holy shit, Bobby's parents are the fucking worst. They're all like excited, I guess, thinking that young Bobby is like some sort of second chance for them to like raise their son into, I don't know, a dude who gets like a regular fucking job and like health insurance and shit. I don't fucking know. It's insane. And meanwhile, while this is happening, Dakin is hanging out with that kid who Bobby and Kitty rescued earlier. That piece of shit, that kid who can like amp up powers and stuff, who's like a total prick. And he's the kid who Bobby punched in the face. That was awesome. So we'll see where that goes. Dakin's got plans. Not a bad issue overall. And I still like really enjoy what Grace is doing with Bobby as a character. I'm still gonna complain a little bit about the dude that he was dating from LA or whatever, because like that relationship, like it has all the depth of a fucking romantic comedy. Still, like he's outside and there's a panel of him outside, like holding up a fucking sign that says "You Up," almost like what the fuck, that John Cusack movie. I cannot believe I can't fucking say anything. Good God. I almost would have gone through this episode without having remembered the title of that movie, but almost like in Say Anything when Cusack holds up the boombox. But this idiot is holding up a fucking sign that just says "You Up." Like that's adorable. God damn it. That's all this relationship is though, and it's a little annoying. It's just fucking adorable. It's just two dudes being adorable. Like there's just not much there. But whatever. It doesn't matter. I wouldn't mind a little more substance there. But overall, I mean, I still dig this run, and God fucking damn it, it doesn't deserve to be canceled. Jean Grey number 10. Pretty straightforward issue. The Phoenix. So we left off right. The Phoenix, fucking Firebird, and all her Firebird cosmic glory has appeared in the sky over our heroes. So we've got Teen Jean, Ghost Jean, Hope, Choir, the Cuckoos, Emma. All here to do battle with this cosmic bird, and they're pretty much like immediately overwhelmed. And Pickles ports them out to the school that Scott was running after AVX, I think the new Xavier school, which like buys them maybe a minute before they're under attack again. And Teen Jean manages to mount the bird and drive it into the ground. Only to find that it do, you know, what Phoenixes do best, and rise again. There's sort of an interesting twist here where like basically the Phoenix Force knows that like despite all of Teen Jean's preparation, you know, issues 1 through fucking 10 of this series, like despite all of her preparation for the coming of the Phoenix, the Phoenix knows that she's not like ready. She's not like a strong enough host for it. So it ends up just consuming her. And like the panels here seem to indicate that it's like totally burned her up into fucking ash because she's not the real Jean. Like it's this attempt to like get this fake Teen Jean out of the fucking way somehow. I don't know. It's sort of interesting. I don't know really what to make of it yet. Especially given that we just talked about Teen Jean over in XMen Blue jumping around in time, and maybe returning to her time permanently. I don't fucking know. This is the last issue before the big 5-part return of Jean Grey and then I think at the end of that maybe we get issue 11 of this series, and I think that's probably the end of this series. And then you know X-Men Red is coming up, led by presumably the real adult Jean Grey. So interested to see where this goes. Phoenix Resurrection 1 also came out in December, but I think we'll wait till the next episode, and I'm just going to review all 5 parts of that because I think it's coming out like on a weekly basis. So I'm just going to do all 5 parts of that at once, along with Jean Grey 11, as I think that's going to be the concluding issue of the Jean Grey series. But overall, I mean, still very much intrigued. I'm digging this run. All new Wolverine number 28, Orphans of X part 4. Okay. This is kind of a head scratcher issue here. So the Orphans of X have gotten a hold of the Muramasa blade, which can kill Wolverine and like his family, I guess. It pretty much stops the healing factor is how it works. So O of X has, I guess, like melted the blade down and turned it into bullets. I'm not sure how many bullets. It seems like kind of a lot of bullets. I mean, they're handing out fucking guns left and right. So I don't know how many bullets you can make out of like one sword blade, or like if they replicated it or something. I don't fucking know. But it seems like a lot. But they managed to hit Dawkins with one in this issue. That poor fucking guy who's already lost his arm in this run, and now he's shot in the chest with one of these bullets, and like Laura has the fucking cut around it to get it out of his chest so it stops like infecting him and totally destroying his healing factor. Good for him. Tough cookie. Laura and company go to Tokyo to meet up with Muramasa, I guess that's the man, and ask him if there's anything that he can like provide them with, sort of as like protection. And he has this shield. I don't know where he got that. Okay. And that's like quickly kind of ruled out as not being, I guess, great against bullets. So he instead is going to make something new, which will require a sacrifice from all of them. Unclear what that is, but it does involve Gabby hanging upside down in a tree. Bizarre. I don't know. Gabby, by the way, has her own code name now. We're presenting Honey Badger. I'm not sure about that one. I'm probably just going to keep calling her Gabby for the time being. But anyway, the issue ends with with the O of X having somehow captured Logan, Sabretooth, and Lady Deathstrike and executing them pretty thoroughly via Muramasa bullets. Not great for Weapon X. I will see how that turns out. That was kind of out of nowhere. Logan, Sabretooth, and Lady Deathstrike at the end of this issue. But I really like. I like this a lot. I like the O of X villains. I like their fucking guns too. Like that they give out. They just look like basic 9mm handguns. With like the O of X symbol etched on the grip. Like if I was a gun guy, I would totally want one. Like I'll probably have to become a gun guy now so that I can get one. But anyway, I mean, still liking this arc, and I love this group of villains. They seem to have a lot of resources too, like fucking helicopters that shoot missiles and shit. And I don't know. I mean, they've got, and there's a lot of, like, there's a ton of these people. It's ridiculous. They're a fucking army. But it's cool. I love them. I love that symbol. I love their masks, and I love that they're trying to just wipe out Wolverines. Like they didn't, like they I wonder, I'd be curious to know like what their policy is toward mutants. I assume they don't give a shit. They just fucking hate Wolverines and anybody that's related to Wolverine, which, you know, makes sense. Old Man Logan, 32. So we've got Gorgon and this group of Hand forcing Dr. Yoshida, I think. I don't know, Dr. Yoshida. I think that's who it is, who here. And I think to like, he's trying to get them, the doc here, to infuse the Hand with this Regenix drug that's basically like a fucking healing factor on crack, I guess. Like you lose a limb and it replaces that limb like right away. Logan's investigating this thing too, and so we see him talking to the wife of the dude who died selling this drug, I think in the last issue, and they're attacked by Gorgon and the Scarlet Samurai, and that so the lady is killed in the process, of course, and Logan and Scarlet here get into a pretty bloody ass fight. In which Logan appears to lose a hand. Nice. But then the thing happens that I didn't want to happen. We get the identity of the Scarlet Samurai, and guess fucking what? It's a newly risen Mariko, back from the dead and under Gorgon's control. You know, I gotta say, it's a twist that's like a little too obvious to really even be called a twist. I like the Scarlet Samurai. I like the concept, I guess, of the Scarlet Samurai. I like her in the sense that like it's a direct challenge to the Silver Samurai. I like that she's a Hand creation. I just don't dig that it's Mariko. You know what I do like is Diodato's art. Holy fuck, good stuff. But hopefully we don't get too bogged down in this Mariko thing. God, I'm sure we will, but we'll see. Overall, like not terrible. I mean, still a big step up from that Hulk Gang arc. My God. But Mariko, just kind of obvious, just kind of fucking obvious. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see where we go from here. Cable number 152. Cable number 152. God damn. This cover though, right? I like this fucking cover. So after the last issue, the whole team meets back up after going after like different sets of externals, and they locate Oprah. There's kind of a cute joke about Oprah, the talk show host, whatever. And I guess it's actually Gideon's corporation, so they can talk to him for any more leads on who's killing externals. This is an interesting spot Gideon's carved out for himself here. He has a bunch of fucking telepaths and telekinetics in like liquid tubes, providing some sort of security system for his bunker there. And all apparently Gideon's cyborg assistant, Eve, as she's explaining, all these dudes who are fucking locked up in these liquid tanks, all totally fucking willing, and their families well compensated, whatever the fuck that means. Kind of strangely quick to explain that. So she shows them a dormant Gideon. He's like hibernating, and then so she's like, "Hey, here he is. He's fucking asleep, and it's been that way. Now get the fuck out." And she's trying to like get them out as like right away, and gets a little more forceful. Like goes full battle mode. Like, "Hey, you saw this dude. Get the hell out of my house now." And then actual Gideon shows up all healthy and alive. And it looks like he's definitely the dude who's been murdering externals now. So we got like a big knockdown, drag out fight with him and his robot people and fucking test tube telepaths. And I don't know, maybe some clones, I guess. I don't know if they're clones, like on the last panel there. Maybe they're the telepaths, or I don't know. But still pretty fun. I haven't seen Gideon in like 25 fucking years or something. So I'm enjoying this run. Still, it's pretty basic kind of murder mystery thing, and it's totally working. And I like, again, can't stress enough, really like seeing Cable with a team with Shatterstar, and Armor's here too. Damn, and X-23, and Longshot. Like, it's a fun team. I think he needs that, definitely. So. This is, fun murder mystery starring Cable and a bunch of fucking people from like the 90s and 2000s era X-Men. Good stuff. Okay, so that is it for this episode. Like I said, we've got Phoenix Resurrection wrapping up like right now, I think. I think like the last issue may have just come out, or is it next week, or I don't know. So I will go over all of that in the next episode. And that 2-shot, is that what you call it? A 2-issue series, a 2-shot? No, not a 1-shot, but a 2-shot. X-Men Grand Design came out as well. I have the first issue of that, but not the second issue. But it's just like apparently some lunatic's attempt to retell the entire X-Men history in 2 fucking comic books. I think maybe they're double-sized issues. I don't know, but that looks kind of interesting. I don't know if I'll talk about it, maybe, but I'm definitely gonna read it. And the Gambit and Rogue limited series is out too. And I will be getting that and reviewing it probably all at once, as well as that Legion limited series too. I don't know if I'm going to do that like, once a month. I think it's a month. They're both going to be monthly series. But I don't know. We'll fucking see. I'm going to read them and I'm going to talk about them at some point. Other than that, that is the end of the episode. So thank you all for listening, and we will see you next month.